Hey everybody, welcome back. Northernlion plays the Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH Plus. You can click off the video right away. There's no baby. There's no baby in today's episode. If you're a baby-only person, I have respect for your time, and I will see you, in all likelihood, tomorrow. 4X AK8HV3. We had a baby this morning that was a little bit, shall we say, not conducive to recording videos. And, you could think of it as like you were deprived of this. I prefer to think of it that I spared you from a morning of screams and grunts and tears and gut bubbles and so on and so forth. So, again, if you're sending out presidential medals of freedom or whatever, just send it to the P.O. box. But we're here. We're playing some Isaac. Always a fun time. It is a Monday morning. Monday morning Lilith run. Not my favorite character. Not my least favorite character, probably. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I don't know. I kind of feel like Eve is maybe my least favorite character these days. Just because, like, I get that you start with the, Whore of Babylon and, Dead Bird with the spotty AI and all that. But the starting, the base damage is just insulting. That, like, 2.62 or whatever base damage, my lord. I would love a bomb. To be honest with you, I would love a bomb. To get... wait, hold on. We might be able to open that golden chest. Like, an attack fly is really good. I don't know, Box of Friends doesn't really augment it that much, but... it would be nice to add to the equation for sure. What a weird word, right? Equation. Doesn't it sound like a word that would be invented by KK Slider? Equation. I know that's Who Can It Be Now. Oh, we can definitely open it. We're looking for a bomb, or the means with which to purchase a bomb, and it does not exist. But you know what? Nobody's gonna break my stride. Nobody's gonna slow me down. We'll keep moving on here. Realistically, it's possible that we could pick up an item. Or we could pick up the means to get it, I guess, just by shooting, like, literally everything. But now that I think about it, I'm like, no, realistically, I don't think that's possible. Thank you very much, and see you next Tuesday. Now. This is a run. This run is a great Rorschach test right now. It's trying to tilt you. Why is it trying to tilt you? It's giving you little dangles, Little dangles of what this run could be like if you had some decent rolls. Like, hey, you get a bomb, you pick up an attack fly. It's a pretty good item. It works you towards Beelzebub in the future. Unfortunately, no bombs exist. And then it goes, hey, it would be cool? Hey, at least you got an arcade. You got a little extra HP. You could pick up some extra money, maybe make your shop worthwhile. And then it's like, you know what? Sorry, it's all slot machines. So inevitably, and put this in your little prediction book, we're going to end up fighting the boss. It's going to be the Headless Horseman. Because we're not going to want to get rid of Box of Friends. It's going to offer us, like, hey, if you were a different character, you might be taking this item right now. And then our deal with the devil is going to be 3 red chests that pay out. 2 of the red chests are going to pay out with troll bombs. 1 of the red chests is going to pay out with 3 flies, and it's going to expect you to say thank you. So that's what I'm predicting for this floor. One thing I will definitely say is we are not going to get a small rock out of this. There is a 0% chance we get small rock out of this. Probably a golden chest. All right, and then alright, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes you say, my God, what have I done? I apologize for the aggressive throat clears, by the way. The consequence of somewhat poor sleep is the throat gets a little phlegmy from time to time. You know how it goes. Actually, I think I'm going to save Box of Friends just because the odds of us fighting Krampus are really not that high. But we don't need Box of Friends to excel against Monstro. So let's just, I'm starting to see a little flowchart on this floor. Plus, the longer this fight goes on, maybe, like, the more coins we get. Although, I guess we would double our coin potentiality if we had a second Incubus. But we can use these on the shop for sure. We got Belly Button. It's, Not exactly a game changer. I think we literally can't use sack altar or we might ruin our whole run. So this will now become deal with the angel potential. And we'll take, it's a speed upgrade. There's nothing wrong with the little speed upgrade. Nothing wrong with that in the slightest. Okay, so that's actually amazing. BFF is like an incredible item. I was hoping we would get a deal with the devil at least worth taking, then we could gain access to the boss trap room, and then, you know, from there, Bob's your uncle, right? But I would say right now, as long as we get either a bomb or 2 more cents, which, okay, there you go. Now, we're gonna get BFF minimum on this floor. Well, I'd like to access that Tinted Rock too, but BFF, like, securing that is way... Okay, now we can do both. Beautiful. Maybe it's not trying to tilt me. Maybe it's just, this is what a balanced run looks like. As a slap in the face, but, you know, wouldn't be the first time. Hey, look at this! You know, it's starting to offer us, dare I suggest, a little bit of, restitution. For things we were complaining about mere moments ago. I'm willing to go about that far. And then... we're gonna go check out this boss trap room, because we do still have Box of Friends. And, you know, a boss trap room, it's really more about, well, we can't even get anything. Okay, let's grab this then. I think I know where this is going. You know, having a sense of purpose on a run, having a raison d'etre, having a win condition is very important. And I think we're starting to get that on this one. So let's caffeinate a little. It's fine. We have to... well, we don't actually have to save the bomb anymore. We could blow up both of these. That's kind of exactly what I was hoping for. We can at least try to get something a little extra. By the way, when did kids these days, hey, the dang old Zoomers, man, Gen Z. Hey, riddle me this, Gen Z. When did extra become a bad word? You know? Wow, that's so extra. That was like, you know, when we were younger, we go out to the pizzeria or something like that. They'd say, hey, we gave you some extra pepperoni. We don't go, how dare you? We say, thank you so much for the extra pepperoni. It's exactly what I wanted. It's not, there's no joke here, there's no punchline. I guess the joke is, imagine if I were so out of touch that I didn't know that that was a fake bit, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at here. But anyway, this is really good. You know, we got some good stuff on that floor. I'm gonna go ahead and hit myself with the don't quit your day job on that one. Unfortunately, my day job is kind of like doing this. So, if anything, it's like don't quit your day job, but it's not like, oh, you're not good at this. It's, you know, don't quit now. You can still get there. Hang in there, slugger. One day you'll figure it out. I'm starting to believe a little bit more. I'm starting to become a believer in this run. I don't have anything else to say about Belieber. Again, I know about 6 things about Justin Bieber, and he's from my home province. What do I know about Justin Bieber? Little kid, got famous on YouTube, and then, like, he became unbelievably famous as a result of collaborations with his producer, who was also Usher. Usher Raymond, who sang Yeah, Yeah. Next thing I knew, she was all up on me screaming, yeah. It's a funny mental... picture, but anyway, let me out, please. Quite spooky there. I do want the item room, but we have no consumables, because I used one to open a golden chest like a fool, forgetting that golden chests never give you anything useful, at least not after you've already gotten, Head of the Keeper. I know that, he became one of the most famous artists in the world, and then he... got arrested for drunk driving, and then, like 2015, 2016 came out with an album that I was actually like, hey, this seems, the singles at least, they seem okay. And then I heard those songs in Pier 1 imports, every single day for the rest of my life. I don't know what he's up to now. I have no idea. I should look into that. That's relevant information for my job. I will take. Okay. Now, what do we need to kick this run to the next gear? We could really benefit from... and, like, I hate to say, because I'd love to have stats as well. But if we're gonna get a non-stat item, if we could at least get something that gives us a key, so we can maybe kickstart things in the shop here and buy another item, that would be nice. And getting either a deal with the devil or a deal with the angel, I would accept either. That's fine. It's not what we want. I'm actually gonna kick this down to the next level, though. I don't see us getting much else out of the rest of the floor. Much else that's insanely relevant, at least. I'm telling you, like, there's no way we will lose this run. I'm actually calling it, and if you want to call it hubris, go ahead and call it hubris, but we won't lose this run. You know why? I can tell you with confidence. I've been playing an unbelievable amount of, and there's KB and Conception working out for us there with a very, very nice item. I've been playing a lot of Fiend Folio. Fiend Folio is it has all of the, and this is not the mod's fault, so don't take this as an insult to the mod makers. It has all of the difficulty problems as Modern Isaac, because it goes on over top of the game, right? So, you know, I'm not insulted, but just whatever happened to a regular shop, man? Whatever happened to just getting a soda? Now everybody's trying to be like, hey, try my homemade kombucha, and I'm like, hey, how about you kombucha can of Coca-Cola Classic on my table instead? I don't know this bit. This bit is boomer who's out of touch. I'm actually the opposite. I'm like the boomer who's open to everything. But almost in a way that you wish that they're like, why couldn't you just be normal? Ooh, lime cucumber kombucha. How about the lime cucumber kombucha? I'll take some of that. Oh, this sounds delightful. Dad, can't you just order a Sprite like a normal dad? Can't you just order a beer like a normal dad? I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, Fiend Folio. And I'm having a great time with it. The mod is awesome. Most of the problems that I have with the mod are inherited from the base game of Isaac itself. Which is to say that, you know, sometimes you'll get to be halfway through a run and you'll have gotten no statistical improvements whatsoever. But Fiend Folio is so much more difficult than base level Isaac that I'm like, you know, I don't feel like we have a realistic chance of death on this run. Like, these rooms actually seem like training rooms. Like, this is like playing against bots. I have no concerns. I will probably take some damage, of course, over the course of the game, but a death not plausible. I hate to tell you this. I cannot blow up the angel statue, so I have a great excuse. We chose wisely, though. We definitely chose wisely right there. We got the miter, we got the mind, we got the mantle. What is that called? The miter? The relic, that's what I meant. the mantle. Anyway, how am I doing? I'm doing well, thank you for asking. Yesterday's stream was nice. Played some Fiend Folio. Always did, like, Would You Push the... Or we did Would You Push the Button, which is always a fun time. If you're not familiar... Well, first off, I would recommend watching it. Of course I would. You know, I'm going to promote as much of my own content as possible, but I would definitely recommend watching, in particular, Would You Push the Button, just because it's such a unique and it's a flavorful bit of content. You know, it's like pickled ginger or wasabi or something like that. Like, don't get me wrong, the sushi is the star of the show, but anytime you want a palate cleanser or something like that, whoof, you know? Just, it's like, you know, putting a match into an empty vodka bottle. It vaporizes all the salt. Which is not how that works, chemically speaking, but it was a metaphorical thing. Anyway, always fun. It's like a would you rather type game in the browser, and it's not just fun because, you know, Would You Rather is kind of a humorous platform for, you know, banter to begin with, and has been since time immemorial. Maybe the Stone Age. Cavemen were like, would you rather never have fire again, but your toga always has saber-toothed tiger dung in it. Oh, jeez, that's a tough one, Gronk. It's also fun beyond that because of the fact that it's like from the old internet. You know, it's from like the internet of like 2009 to 2015. And it's just interesting to see, like, you know, I mean, it was mostly, I think, kids and teenagers and maybe young adults going on this site. But it's funny to see how much, like, things have changed. I would say for the better, but I mean, like, that's how it goes, right? You always feel like what you're, like, the way that the culture is now is, like, better than it used to be. And then when you get a little, you know, past that, you're like, oh, actually, like, though I've talked about this before. I think that you always cringe the most at the last thing that has gone out of fashion, and then there's like a rotation. It goes like, you know, let me give you an example, I guess. When I went to university in 2006 to 2010, I mean, it's a broad period there, but I would say, like, the preeminent fashion that you saw, there was a lot of khaki shorts, there was a lot of puka shell necklaces. Everybody did their hair, like, either in the, like, a scene kid style, with the bangs hanging over their eyeballs, or with, like Lance Bass from NSYNC, you know, with the bangs flipped up. Like the Dan Giesling Big Brother headshot hairstyle. And we wore, you know, like Old Navy polo shirts with horizontal stripes on them and stuff like that. And that was, you know, that was fashion at the time. What kind of fashion was maligned back then? To some extent, like, I mean, all this stuff that's popular now, I would say. Especially like streetwear type stuff, like oversized clothes or, like, you know, bright colors and stuff like that. It was like, nah, man, we don't. Meanwhile, people would be wearing like Von Dutch trucker hats. They'd be like, you know, look, early 1990s fashion is so cringe. Now you look back on that era, I think, and you go, that's the ultimate cringe. But I'm here to tell you, not everything old will be new again, I think. However, in like 5 years, that stuff will start to become just like, not so cringe. And then 5 years after that, people are going to be wearing those trucker hats where, like, the fabric on the brim of the hat has been intentionally torn so you can see the, you know, the scaffolding underneath. It's gonna suck really bad. I'm still telling you, the Matrix fashion is coming back. I know you're like, it's never gonna come back. I never thought that the middle part on the hair would come back. The Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I thought that was straight up, you know, that was a 1990s relic that would never return. And it's back, and it's back in a big way. Luckily, I'm not beholden to those trends anymore. You know, when you're bald, you're just kind of like, you know, you're like Scott Walker, you know? Play it cool and saran wrap what you can. You exist like outside of time, is what I'm trying. You know, like that song from Futurama. Look, anyway, it's I don't remember. It's one of the Futurama movies. Introduced me to Scott Walker, not the governor of Wisconsin, by the way. I think they're two different guys. I know they're two different guys, but it would be funnier to be under the misconception that they weren't. Anyway, moving on. I'm just saying, you know, from somebody who lived through it, I never thought the center part would come back. Guess what? Center part came back. You know what that means. 2023, everyone's going to be listening to the Crystal Method. Ready, steady, go. I know you think I've lost my mind, but don't say I'm sick. I'm twisted. Sick implies there's a cure. I took that from the ancient meme archive. So I can't, and it's ironic. I'm actually, like, aggressively normal, I think, for the most part. Weirdest thing about me, sometimes, like, I'll sing to the baby, you know? Which is not weird at all, I understand. But sometimes I do wonder, like, because we got, you know, like, the baby nanny cam stuff. I wonder if, like, Kate's watching me sing to the baby and going, like, what's wrong with this guy? So instead of doing like, I'm a little teapot, short and stout, I'm out there like, Peg, it will come back to you. Peg, then the shutter thoughts. You seen it in a movie, for it's your favorite foreign movie. But I gotta say, the baby loves it. Baby loves Steely Dan so far. Not trying to flex, make people jealous or whatever. Does your baby love Steely Dan? No, your baby's probably listening to some stupid stuff. The fruit salad, yum yum. My baby's listening to Destroyer's 2011 album Kaput. Don't compare us. We are not the same. This run has actually turned out, like, very, very, very well. Obviously, like, based on, like, you can see for yourself how it's going. Those items are... I mean, Dead Onion's good, but it's not really worth it, I think. You know what's weird? It's crazy. So I got a Twitter tab open in the background just because I, you know... Basically, here's the thing, right? I play Isaac in, like, a super small window. Like, whatever its default launch parameters are, and it's just the way I've always done it. I don't think it's, like, performance enhancing. Or performance degrading, for that matter. Moreover, I think if I actually switch to, like, a higher resolution, it would make me play a lot worse. Like, I think I've just spent so many hours in it at this point that an adjustment would be more harm than good, quite frankly. Plus, it's not like, oh, you know, hey, the textures in the game are designed to be used at 4K. I think this thing's designed to be played on the Game Boy Advance, so, you know, we're doing alright there. But I need something up in the background, especially, like, as I got this larger monitor now, like, I would say probably, like, 85% of the monitor space is not dedicated to the game window, right? So, I want to have something up in the background that's not my desktop, otherwise my eyes will just be seared, right? So I got Twitter open in the background, and a trend just popped up, and it said, "Happy birthday, Justin Bieber." Happy birthday, Justin. Now I know one more thing about Justin Bieber. He's born on March 1st. You know, we always talk about, like, how much it would be, not suck necessarily, but how interesting it would be to, like, have your birthday on February 29th. You know, like, you only have it once every 4 years. I mean, you just celebrate it on, I'm sure, the 28th or the 1st. You just pick which one of the months is your favorite. Personally, I would probably go, I don't know, that's a tough one. Because, you know, February, I have a lot of holidays in February I don't really respect. But I also have a lot of holidays in March I don't really respect. So which one would I rather, which one would I rather gussy up? I don't know, like, February has Groundhog Day, which is a waste of everybody's time. And then it has Valentine's Day, which is fine, you know? I don't have a strong opinion on Valentine's Day one way or the other. I've never been one of those guys who's like, it's a BS corporate, you know, holiday, blah, blah, blah. I think having a day where you're, you know, extra encouraged to, like, you know, celebrate the love that you have for people in your life is a good idea. But I've also never been one of those people that's like, you know, oh, like, for Valentine's Day, we gotta go, like, all out, you know? So I'm like, I'm 50-50 on it. But then, March has my least favorite holiday of all, which is St. Patrick's Day. Again, if you're relatively recently, you know, new to the show here, you might not know it, but I've got a real bone to pick with St. Patrick's Day. And it has nothing to do with, you know, Irish history or Irish American history. It has everything to do with people just using it as an excuse to, especially adults who should know better. Like, if you're like 21, you know, go celebrate St. Patrick's Day. You know, I did it. If it's more when it's like, you know, I see like and we used, you know, before we got our car, we used to see this all the time on St. Patrick's Day. You know, a bunch of like 35 to, you know, 50-year-old people from the office all dressed up in green and like about to puke on the bus, and you're just like, man, it's just like kind of unpleasant. It's the same reason, like, you know, I've kind of in the past been a little negative towards Halloween. But I will say that I'm actually looking forward to the next few Halloweens, you know, now that we got a young kid. I think that, you know, I think there's basically two Halloweens, right? There's the Halloween that you have when you're a little kid, where you go out trick-or-treating. And then there's the, you know, at some point maybe around, between the ages of like 16 and 20, you move on to, you know, a more young adult sort of Halloween, where the whole thing is still dressing up in costumes, but mostly using it as an excuse to get hammered. And then, you know what? Maybe there's a third Halloween, which is like, as a parent. You know, you get to take your kid out in the cute outfit and go explore the neighborhood. That sounds kind of cool. My favorite Halloweens ever, like, none of them relate to costumes. Although I will say, being bald is a huge costume enabler. It really, like, I think I only dressed up for 2 Halloweens whilst bald, but they were very easy. One of them I went as Stone Cold Steve Austin. I turned a pair of jeans into jorts, and I cut the sleeves off of a black shirt and used the white out to put, like, raise hell on it. And that's, you know, the easy costume. I think I had some sunglasses as well. And then another time, I went as Captain Jean-Luc Picard. I had a red shirt similar to the color of, you know, his maroon shirt on the Next Generation. Then I used black electrical tape to make up, like, the pauldrons, and then a little aluminum foil to make the Starfleet symbol. It's just, and then, you know, if you had to go any further than that, you could, Lex Luthor is an easy one. You know, you could, I mean, I'm not in a good enough shape to do it, but that never stops people on Halloween. You could go as The Rock, you know, you could go as, any number of easy costumes, easy costume ideas you could pull off, right? Hey, Mulligan's really good. It's actually a really fast and good run today. I'm stoked. I mean, we got Brimstone and everything. Like, I don't even feel like we need to say what all the items are. We got Brimstone and everything else. I'm not even going back for the item. That's a product of how good this run is, but also a product of the fact that it's going to be very tight to make it to the stream on time. And it's not poor planning. This one's just, you know... Some mornings the baby wakes up and she's like, Gooby. Some days the baby wakes up and she's like, hey, there's nothing you could do to possibly stop me from crying. Which is more like what this morning was like. But anyway, what I was going to say is, you know what we don't talk about is it must be frustrating for the people born on March 1st. You know, because you're always like, oh, my birthday's tomorrow. But then once every 4 years, you're like, what? My birthday's in 2 days. That sucks. Like, imagine if you were born on... This is like a very minor complaint, right? But I imagine you'd be like mildly annoyed with leap years if like you were born on March 1st, but a leap year pushed your birthday from being like on a Sunday to being on a Monday or something like that. You'd be like, oh, come on. I almost had a cool weekend birthday. Instead, I got a Monday birthday? But then I guess it could flip the other way. Instead of having like a Thursday birthday, not that special, you could have a Friday birthday. That's one of the premium birthdays. Would I rather have a Friday birthday or a Saturday birthday? It's a tough question. I mean, on Saturday, everybody's got the whole day, if you're one of those people who's like, we have to celebrate by doing like 12 activities just for me. But on Friday, there's a palpable energy in the air from people being excited about the weekend's never gonna end. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching. Good run. Hey, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Northernlion, and I'll see you next time. It's just that easy. See ya.